Welcome to the Abundance Effect, where we empower ambitious women with practical tools to live their most rich and fulfilling life in business and beyond. I'm your host, Larisa McCoof. Let's get started. Most communication problems do not happen because people don't care. They happen because emotions show up faster than structure. Here's the irony. The moment a conversation actually matters, our nervous system interprets curiosity as danger. And what one person intends as a connection, the other person experiences as interrogation. Now, a few years ago, one of my clients casually shared a communication structure that she used, and she referred to it as the dyad. Now, at the time, I didn't overthink it. I just tried it with my husband because I was like, what a great idea. Let me give it a shot. And what happened is it quietly changed how we talk. And since then, I have used it with my son. He loves it, like capital LOVE. We use the statements with my mother, and it's become a family thing. Sometimes we do them one-on-one. Sometimes we do them as a group. We all know what they are, and we all really, really like it because it helps us communicate even more effectively with one another. It helps us be heard, and it helps us hear one another out. So today I want to share these 4 simple sentences and really look at why they work at a nervous system level, not just an emotional one. Now, here's a problem. This is one of the reasons communication breaks down, because high achievers, these are people like you, people like me, we're really good thinkers, but we're not always safe communicators, not because we're unkind, because we're intense, because we're curious, because we are wired to solve problems. So when something matters, the questions, they just come quickly. Why do you feel like that? What do you mean by that? Can you explain this? Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. To you as a high achiever, that might feel like interest. Curiosity is at its peak. Go ahead, have conversations like that with me. I will be over the moon. However, other people that don't think like you, don't feel like you, they might feel like they're being cross-examined, especially in relationships with other people who are not an exact replica of you. They should be, but they're not. So on more than one occasion, my husband has mentioned that when I try to have what I consider a really meaningful conversation with him, he feels put on the spot, grilled, interrogated, you take your pick. My mind is going a million miles a minute. I'm so excited. I'm so enthusiastic. And he is just not there. He is like long gone. Because what happens is when conversations lack structure, the body goes into defense mode. And that's exactly what often happens to him. The tone shifts, his shoulders might tighten, maybe people might shut down or push back. And that's not really a communication problem. That's a safety problem. So here's the thing, love needs structure too. We often think that structure kills intimacy. And in reality, structure is what makes intimacy possible. Okay? So we might think structure kills intimacy. Structure is what makes intimacy possible. Now, when the nervous system, it knows what's coming, it can relax. So think of a massage. If you went for a massage and they went deep tissue right away, you would not be very relaxed. What do? They rub softly. The massage therapist rubs softly. It gets the skin used to the hands. It goes a little deeper. They go a little deeper. Over time, people get more receptive, more relaxed, and they open up. And so when your nervous system relaxes, you stay open. And when people stay open, that's when real connection can actually happen. This is where those 4 sentences come in. Now I'm going to share them. Don't worry. But before I share them, there's one important note. If you're going to do these 4 statements with somebody, you want to pre-frame the conversation, preface it a little bit, because without context, it might feel like a bit of a setup. It might be a little bit weird. So the first time or even few times you do these statements, tell the other person or tell the other people you want to do them with what you're doing and what's happening. Say, hey, I listened to this podcast episode with Larisa, and she told me about 4 statements that might be able to help us communicate better. You want to give them a shot? I'd really like to. Can you do them with me? Okay, it's about pitching and catching, going back and forth, and having a really collaborative relationship and interaction where you all feel safe and you all feel heard. It is not about fixing. It's not about you giving your 2 cents worth. It's about you turning your listening ears on and hearing other people out and also sharing in a really genuine, simple way. Okay. So the 4 statements, they are: 1, something I want you to know is. 2, something I appreciate about you is. 3, something I desire is. And 4, something I'm concerned about is. So let me just talk a little bit about each one. They're also going to be in the show notes. So if you missed them on this recording, go look at the show notes. They will be in there. Do not worry. Okay. So something I want you to know is why this is really amazing and why this is a really powerful statement is it creates orientation. There's no guessing. There's no bracing. You want to tell them something and you want to share something about yourself, about your life, anything. You're basically telling them what's important to you, what's top of mind, what's something that you want other people to be a part of. Okay, so simple, but it's like opening your arms and initiating something special. So what you would do is you might share, the other person might share. If it's a group, we usually do a round robin and each person answers the same statement and shares their thing to that statement. The second statement, okay, something I appreciate about you is. Appreciation is amazing because it signals safety. And when you tell other people what you like, love, appreciate, respect, admire, we use the word appreciate here. You can swap it out if you really want, but you're telling them something that you notice. You're lifting them up. You're giving them recognition. And neuroscience shows that this lowers the threat response and it actually increases receptivity. Something I appreciate about you is tell each person around what you appreciate about them. When you hear it, you're like, oh, you get warm and fuzzies. Sometimes it's not even a big thing that someone appreciates, but you still get these warm and fuzzies in your heart because they're sending something to you. They're acknowledging you. The third statement, something I desire is. This is amazing. This is not a demand. This is not a criticism. This is a direction. This is you saying, this is important to me. This is something I crave. This is where I want to go. And so maybe it's something immediate. Maybe it's something big. Maybe it's something small, but you are sharing your dreams, your desires, your needs, something that is top of mind that you are genuinely craving in that moment. And then last but not least, something I'm concerned about is. Now, originally, when we heard this, when it was recommended to me, it was that the statement was something I'm afraid of. But we don't really like that language in our family, so we changed it. Okay, so I'm giving you the framework. Feel free to change it. If you want to tweak or adjust these statements to suit you, go ahead, because I changed it. This one works for us. But what we like about concern is it invites care. It helps us foresee potential challenges that might be coming up, and we can nip them in the bud in advance. We start knowing like what might be on people's minds, what might be stressing them out a little bit, what might be keeping them on edge. They're not always asking for help. You don't have to go out and help, but you could be more aware. You could be more sensitive in how you show up, especially in relation to those people. And maybe we have nothing concerned about. We often have nothing we're concerned about. However, if there is something you're concerned about, it's important to voice it. One of the things that high achievers do is they keep everything bottled inside. And if you're genuinely concerned about something and do not voice it, it's not going to help the problem get fixed. Okay. A problem well stated is half solved. And so if there is a genuine concern, this simple statement can even start leading you to get into solution mode. Often voicing it can get you in that direction. So these are 4 really powerful statements. Like I often do them with my son in the car driving to or from school. My husband and I, we try to schedule a time. We like doing them on walks. If we're in the car as a family, a car is a big place where we do this. We'll do them as a round robin. If we call my mom, we'll do it there too. We'll do these statements while we're having dinner, but usually when there's quiet time, uninterrupted time. And so those are the times and the environments that work well with our lifestyle. But it's really important that you do these every single day. And I'm going to encourage you to make a point of doing them every single day. I promise you, take these 4 statements kind of like medicine. If you didn't hear Sierra's episode about goal cards, she's like, take your goal cards like medicine, like a prescription. Same thing. If you do these once a day, I promise you, your relationships will absolutely start to flourish. Don't let this be another good episode you agree with and do nothing about. Insight without action turns into frustration, and you deserve better than that. My book, Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away, is designed to help you take what you're feeling right now and turn it into movement. Not big dramatic change, just honest, grounded progress. You can access the full book and bonus resources for free at stopprocrastinatingbook.com or in the show notes. Let this be your moment you follow through. Now, after using these 4 statements for a while, like I said, I blindly just used them and I loved them. They worked. Had no idea why, didn't care. But over time, I did get a little curious. And I hadn't studied it from the original source, so I went digging and I started learning about where some of these structured communication frameworks show up. And there's imago relationship therapy, there's nonviolent communication, there's authentic relating and circling practices. So these are some really common places. Statements like this have shown up on a regular basis and they work. Different names, same principles. And from a neuroscience perspective, so I like studying the brain and seeing how it works. But from a neuroscience perspective, predictability calms the amygdala. Do the 4 statements every day. You know they're coming. You know you'll have a chance to share. You'll know you'll have a chance to hear. This predictability in doing it once a day, it will calm the part of you that is reactive, the part that senses danger. Okay, so it's going to calm your nervous system. Appreciation, it also activates the reward pathways. When you hear what people love and appreciate about you, you're like, feels really, really good. So it gives you that little extra boost of dopamine. It activates this happy zone within you. Naming your desire, it reduces ambiguity. Okay, most people don't know what they want because they don't say what they want. If you start saying what you want each and every single day, what you desire each and every single day, over time, you will become more and more clear and you will start learning what you actually desire, whether it's big, whether it's small. But this is a really great exercise to gain more clarity. And last but not least, structure, it prevents this emotional flooding. This is not about pouring your heart out, airing out all your dirty laundry. You might get emotional. However, chances are you're going to feel really, truly empowered with these statements. Whenever we've done them, even if we've been in a bad mood starting them, we always end up feeling so much better by the time we're done. We may be grouchy, we may have not good feelings starting, but it's not about just being touchy-feely. It's about being biologically informed with your communication. And that just does good things to the body. And you literally feel physically better by the time you're done. There's a huge ripple effect with this. Here's what surprised me the most. These conversations, they don't just change the moment. They really do change people. And they really do change how people see themselves. When someone feels heard without being corrected, they soften, they trust more, they show up so differently the next day. And that ripple, it moves into your parenting, your work conversations, your self-talk. You don't even have to be doing these conversations with everyone. But if you do them with 1, 2, maybe 3 people in your life on a regular basis, this has a ripple effect because you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel more clear, you feel safe in voicing yourself and your opinion. And your nervous system, it remembers safety. How you do anything is how you do everything. So this work is carried into other arenas of your life. Now, I want to leave you with this. You don't need a perfectly worded conversation, and you do not need the other person to change first. What does matter is, are you willing to create more safety, more clarity, more honesty in the relationships that actually matter most to you? Start with one conversation, one person. Do the 4 sentences. Do not try to fix. It's not about winning. It's not about doing something better. It's not about competition. It's just about connection. Because the quality of your relationships, it shapes the quality of your life. The most meaningful changes, they rarely happen through pressure. They happen through presence. And that's exactly what these statements do. These statements allow you to be even more and more and more and more present with yourself and with the other people in your life. So this season, instead of just focusing on doing more for others, try focusing on how you show up in the spaces that matter. And if this episode resonated, I would love, 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 and appreciate if you shared it with someone that you care about, not as advice, but as an invitation. Sometimes the most loving thing that we can do is learn how to listen better. And so go ahead, extend this invitation to someone that matters to you. I'll be back again next week. Bye for now. Just one last ask before you leave. If you've been finding value in the Abundance Effect, I would be so grateful if you would leave a rating or review. It helps this podcast reach other women who are looking for depth, clarity, and real growth. And, of course, make sure you're following the show so you don't miss what's coming next.